Remember, the key to success is working hard. For our country, we must have regard. Forget all your differences, let we start to build. And onward to progress we surely will. Because now, more than ever, we must show discipline, tolerance, and production to build a strong and better nation. I say that is the main foundation. So come let us work hand in hand, because this is our land. Come my brother, come my sister, and let us build a nation together.
Yes, let us come together, excuse me, to build Grenada, Carriacou, and PT Martinique. Let's build, not break, not sabotage. This is our home, and we have a duty to transform it, to enhance it. I want to welcome you to the hub. Again, we have a unique opportunity to talk, to discuss, using radio and the social media to connect. And for those who follow social media, who live on social media, you will know that I was just on Ride Along. All right? I was just on the Ride Along program. So I'm coming from that program to our program. And it was a good debate, a good conversation. And, at the end of the day, we can disagree with a number of things and move on from there. But folks, tonight, I want to ask the question, where is Dwight Horsford? Because I remember in the lead up to the General Council and Convention, and even before that, it was all about Horsey, all about Dwight Horsford. And then the guy just melt, just vanish from the spotlight. We're not seeing him at those meetings, those political meetings. We're not seeing him at those big NNP events. And people are asking, where is Dwight Horsford? You remember this guy?
New National Party member Dwight Horsford during Sunday's meeting encouraged party members to be on the lookout for possible voter padding as the party canvassed through the electoral list. According to Horsford, democracy requires action, and for the NNP, one of the areas that needs urgent action is voter registration and its examination.
Between September 2022 and July of this year, we have noticed a dramatic surge in registration of voters in certain key constituencies and areas in this country. Unprecedented, never like this before.
Right, so that's Horsey. I understand he's on the platform tonight. That's good. It's good to see that he's on the platform tonight because he was MIA, missing in action. I remember the last time he spoke about unprecedented registration because people continue to register in a big way. And the NNP is scared about that. The NNP is uneasy about that because Grenadians never before are more involved in current affairs, following the happenings here in Grenada Carriacou and PT Martinique. Right now, we have about 92,000 people who are registered to vote. We have seen a significant amount of people registering within a short period of time. Right? 3 years, and boy, oh boy, that amount of people is not normal to have that amount of people registering in a 3-year period. So people are fired up, people are excited about this new government, excited about the most honorable Deacon Mitchell and his team, and they're getting registered in record numbers, which is great, which is wonderful. All right. Yeah, so I understand he's on the platform tonight. So Dwight, looking forward to hearing what you have to say. I will go and check it sometime during the course of tonight. All right. Yes. Uh, everybody asking, where is Horsey? Where is Horsey? You know, this guy was earmarked to be the leader at once of the party. Remember, there was this rumor out there saying that he will be the leader of the party and he coming back from some small island, some small Caribbean island, to be the leader of the NNP. In fact, his friend, a good pal of mine, said, well, the man go be, and the man go be. I said, boy, joke you're making. Joke you're making. They're using that and they're spitting out that. He would not be no leader, no NNP. So say so done. All right. Folks, Nolan Thompson, I played for you this morning what a caller said to her.
Pleasant good morning, Ms. Thompson.
Good morning.
Right. Just here to share some brief comments on the free tuition. And I'm someone who wish I had that opportunity that I heard the Prime Minister and his colleagues had spoke about in the campaign trail. However, no, time and time again, you might get the backlash of a party who has been there for 23 years versus a party with 3 years. Now, everything, as I see it, as a young personnel, is building. Now, Barbados was able to bring in the free tuition program in 1962. Just to see, that's Barbados. Grenada finally get the opportunity to bring it in decades later. Let's just take that in for a second. Now, and Grenada currently, just like the free school feeding program, they're in the building stages. So we get the free tuition. Now, I, as someone who did culinary arts, I could tell you, under the hospitality department, if I was able to get that, because you know that program is in the thousands, the tuition alone would have helped me very much. And I even talk about the purchasing of my materials like shirts, etc. Secondly, the free tuition that Barbados offer put them in a better market when it comes to, well, getting a job inside Grenada, what is Spice Island Beach Resort, whatever the case may be. They always had the advantage over us because of the experience and, again, the free tuition which they started. Now, I personally believe that's a building block, and that should have been here decades ago. Not crying on anyone, just saying that is something very important. Now, the transportation that you speak of, I believe in time to come, this thing may be possible. It may be feasible. That's something we may see, but no, we're in the building stages. We don't want to pressure too much, and I'm not going to take away from you with the comments that you say you have. People has reached out to you with such problem, because throughout where we go, there is no such thing like a perfect country. And anybody want to rule out that, they're going to be mistakenly to think so. However, the MP for St. David's is, I could say, one of the most approachable MP, and as a Prime Minister, he surprises me. Very approachable. I was able to meet the Prime Minister in Felix Park through a walkthrough in the night. I was passing through. Just imagine that, doing a walkthrough. Now, could more be done in St. David's? It's a big area. Is it compared to what St. David's had previous representative, Mr. Joseph? I see hope in this current representative that St. David's have. Could more be done? And you, as a candidate vying for office, you have some good things to offer. Why not reach out, meet with the Prime Minister, because you all go down good, you communicate well, and probably bring some of the things, even gather up some of the names that you may have, you bring them to him and let he assist, because at the end of the day, this is bigger than politics, you know. This is about people. So we got to remember, we at some point in time, we put the tribal and we put the complaining aside for election time. And when it's about working with people, for people, you both come together and you just do this thing and make St. David come out a winner. Look now, and I'm wrapping up here, GT. For example, you have St. Andrews with Miss Thomas and the two Thomases, however, of they weren't on the same team, same side, but there was times where she Delma may bring in information or send people, they go vice versa. So I think that is my advice. If you want it, you take it. If not, you leave it. You should consider getting the names, getting the people who may need the assistance, if you could do that. You're not an elected MP, so you don't collect 10,000 or whatever is the case, dollars, and you bring that towards the Prime Minister or the MP. That's your MP as well. And you all could work together and get this thing going. And when the election time comes around, you all do what you need to do. And we for now, let's just put this politics things aside and try to build the people of St. David's, which we care about so much. Have a good one, Mr. Thompson.
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And we are a bit strapped for time, but I give you the opportunity to respond, and we probably will entertain one more caller after this one. Go right ahead with your response to the caller if you do have a response for the caller, please.
I don't see, the caller talks about, and again, it baffles me sometimes when callers.
Right. So, so she was lost. She was lost for words because you see, the young people of this country, they're smart, they're intelligent. The Grenadian people on a whole are smart and intelligent, and they're following what is happening. GT asked her a question about caretakership, right? Listen.
Now, the role of a caretaker, some folks would say, is about maintenance, is about care. How do you see that experience, translating into caring for the constituency of St. David's?
Well, I believe that the caretaker, I don't see myself as a caretaker, to be quite honestly.
Yeah.
if I'm to be frank, and the people won't, the people in St. David's won't allow me to see myself as a caretaker either. If I even say that I'm the caretaker, they will quickly say, "You're not the caretaker, you're a candidate." So, I am working, to be quite honest, as a candidate. I'm working as a person who will represent St. David's once the NNP gets back into power. So I do not see myself as a caretaker. I see myself as a person who is willing to work and willing to work now as if I am already the candidate. And
Lord, this lady making me laugh, The woman is a caretaker, She's not even the candidate for the NNP. She doesn't even understand there's a process. So they appoint you as a caretaker in the constituency. And then when it comes closer to the election, they either appoint you as the caretaker or they get somebody else. But the woman, she's all over herself already. She believes that she arrived and she's this and she's that, and Lord, boy, the NNP in trouble, The NNP in serious, serious trouble. I'm telling you. But folks, I'm not surprised because that is how this woman has always been. Look at how she speaks. She gives you the impression that, I'm happy, I'm happy that the NDC continues to work in the best interest of all of our people.
Grenada launched its inaugural household bond initiative on Monday as part of a pilot in collaboration with the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank. The issuer of the bond is the government of Grenada in the amount of 5 million EC dollars offered to individual investors through the regional government securities market. Speaking during Monday's soft launch, Finance Minister Honorable Dennis Cornwall says the bond aims to encourage financial literacy and empower Grenadians to begin their investment journey.
This visionary initiative serves as a gateway for individuals to increase their financial literacy. It is designed specifically for individual investors across Grenada and the rest of the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union. When I say individual investors, I want to ensure that everyone understands that we are not talking about institutions such like the banks, the credit unions, the insurance companies, national insurance, and other pension funds or businesses who are referred to as institutional investors. I'm talking about giving regular citizens and family the opportunity to learn about investing, wealth creation, and wealth management through real-world experience that gives actual returns.
The household bond runs for 2 years from its issue date at a fixed interest rate of 4.25% per annum, and when redeemed, investors will pay their principal amount along with interest. Permanent Secretary within the Ministry of Finance, Mike Sylvester, explains that the bond will be paid semi-annually.
The bond will be paid semi-annually. So once you invest, you will receive payments twice per year. And based on the issue date that will be announced, I'm going to announce shortly, sorry, the payments will be on the 24th of November, or the 24th of May 2026, and then the 24th of November for the 2-year period, right? So basically that's the repayment, semi-annual repayment period for the bond. In terms of the settlement period, or what we call the subscription period, sorry. This is a period where persons will begin to bid for the bond.
The household bond will be jointly launched with St. Kitts in October 31st to culminate Financial Literacy Month. Potential investors are encouraged to place their bids from October 31st to November 2nd, and bonds will be issued on a first-come, first-served basis.
So that is the subscription period within which you have to, or you're required to engage a broker to place a bid for a portion of the $5 million. In terms of the brokers, there are basically around 6 brokers operating in the sub-region. Our own Grenada Cooperative Bank is our local broker here. So if that's an option for you, then you can use that option. You have the St. Kitts Nevis Anguilla National Bank. That's another option. You have the Bank of Nevis Limited. That's another option. You have the Bank of St. Vincent and the Grenadines as another option. The Bank of St. Lucia, another option, and the First Citizen Investment Services.
Persons can invest a minimum of $500 and a maximum of $50,000. Interested persons are required to complete a pre-registration through www.finance.gd.
Right, so that is very good. It's time to start investing, and what they have done is to localize it, to give ordinary people that chance to invest and see their money grow.
On Monday, the Ministry of Health launched its first nurses internship program at the General Hospital. 23 nursing students, including 1 male, will participate in the 6-month program aimed at helping newly qualified registered nurses transition smoothly into the medical workforce. The internship program will provide hands-on clinical experience under the supervision of licensed professionals, enabling the application of theoretical knowledge, development of essential nursing skills, and demonstration of safe, evidence-based patient care across diverse health care settings. Each intern will be assigned a mentor who works within the nursing department of the Grenada's General Hospital Services and will be rotated to various departments and fields during the 6-month program. The program will also foster the development of professional behaviors, including effective communication, teamwork, ethical decision-making, and time management, preparing interns to function confidently and collaboratively within interdisciplinary healthcare teams.
Right, so that's very good. An internship for the nurses, 23 of them. We wish them all the best so they can smoothly transition into the actual field of nursing on the job. So they get in that on-the-job training, which is really good, understanding the do's and don'ts and perfecting that, which is really, really good. All right? Folks, let me tell you this. The NNP, their They have a series of public meetings now, going to different places and saying different things. And you have a certain individual who went on the platform and might be still speaking about his hurt about Neelan Franklin's death. The funeral was just yesterday. And this individual, remember, Neelan Franklin was a senator under the NNP, meaning the NNP appointed him as a senator. They later revoked his appointment. So they remove him as a senator, Lest you forget that. They didn't treat this guy good. They never did. He came out publicly and said he doesn't find the NNP has any room for growth or development. And as a result, he's leaving the NNP party. He doesn't want anything to do with the NNP. But you don't know, a certain individual on the platform want to make people believe that he and Neelan Franklin was good and that everything was A-okay. In fact, Neelan Franklin's father died, and Neelan Franklin admitted that he approached a certain individual to assist him to bury his father, and he refused. But today, the individual has this conspiracy that he's throwing out there, referencing Neelan Franklin and John T's death to be something suspicious and calling for an investigation. And the guy is evil. He's wicked. Wicked. You think he likes this family? No, he doesn't like this family. No, or else he would have left the young man as a senator. He removed him. He removed him. But today, he's on the platform riling up some of these supporters into believing this conspiracy. I am saying, folks, he is dangerous. Very dangerous. Very, very dangerous. And he will use anything for political capital. Anything to falsify a lot of stuff. Because he's a falsifier of history. He is a falsifier of history. But let me tell you, at this point, you have 92,000 people who are registered. 92,000 people. And people are fired up and excited because they want to vote to keep the Most Honorable Deacon Mitchell and his team in power. And do not be concerned when the NNP mobilize 5 and 6 busloads of people and ram them in a classroom like tonight, ram them in one little space, trying to give the impression that there is this huge turnout. Remember, you have 92,000 people registered, You have a meeting with 50 people, 60 people, 100 people, and you're bossing them because there are people coming from St. Andrew, coming from St. Patrick, coming from St. John, coming from different places. So you organize a busload of people and you bring them there. What do you expect? What do you expect? So those who are looking on and may view the meetings, do not be too concerned, because both political parties, they have following. The NDC got 31,430 votes the last election. The NNP got 28,600 and something, 79 votes, somewhere around there. Right? So both political parties have following. And both political parties could mobilize a certain amount of people if they want to for their meetings or for their rallies. But bet your bottom dollar, the people in the middle, they don't support NNP. They don't like NNP. That is why they voted overwhelmingly for NDC. And that is why more and more people are registering. You believe that they are registering to vote for NNP? No, they are not. NNP is scared at the fact that these people are registering in record numbers. They're concerned. They're scared. I'm telling you because I know. And they know. The majority of people who are registering are not because they want to support NNP. No. No. They want to see NNP out for good. And NNP is scared of that reality. So just calm yourself and know that these meetings with the 50 or 60 or 70 people, if you have a room and you have 100 people or 200 people, it will make the place look ram, especially if it's in a small area. Because they are not having some of these meetings in an open space. What they're doing now is going into schools and take a classroom or 2 classrooms, and they're having the meetings in there to project a larger crowd. But a crowd of 100 people, a crowd of 200 people, that's insignificant in a 92,000 block. So you have 92,000 people who are registered, right? That's important. So I'm saying, don't be bothered, right? Don't be bothered. Some of you are not politically savvy, so you don't really understand. You don't really know. I am telling you, because I know. The NNP is a dying breed. They are not able to attract new people. New people are not coming on their side. New people are not supporting them in their cause. New people are not worried about the NNP. They just want to see them out. They're embracing the most honorable Deacon Mitchell and his team, which is remarkable. And I'm happy to see that. Really, really happy to see that.
Fisher folk from St. John and St. Mark added their voices to the conversation on Friday as Grenada, through the Ministry of the Blue Economy and Marine Affairs, journeys toward lifting impending U.S. trade restrictions on fish exports. The ministry commenced a series of consultations last week, which will conclude tomorrow, Tuesday, at Baines Hall, Grenville, for fishermen in St. Andrew and St. Patrick. Grenada's fisheries were denied comparability and warned that unless corrective actions are implemented and a new application is approved, exports to the U.S. will remain restricted from January 1st, 2026. Permanent Secretary within the ministry, Javon Williams, gave an update on where Grenada is on its journey to compliance.
The drafting committee was then developed with Legal Affairs, FAO, and our ministry. And we start the process of looking at the legal aspects that we need to address, and the process is continuing to make sure. What the US assured us, put everything in place, publicize everything that we put in place, because NOAA have made it clear that we cannot submit before the 1st. So we have to have everything in place. Everybody must know the law is passed. We have changed our systems. And then on the 1st of January, once as we present our new information, the US is prepared to ensure that we don't go beyond that date into any negative repercussions.
Special Envoy for Oceans for the Government of Grenada, Jerry Eno, said other islands have added their voices to the fight to lift export restrictions. Grenada is working along with these islands to escalate the situation and expedite the resolutions.
We are in the process of organizing an emergency meeting with the ministers responsible for fisheries in the region, because we need to escalate this, because what is affecting us is going to affect the other islands eventually. So I'm pretty sure Mr. Rennie would have spoke about the issue of the regulations and the laws that need to change. And we obviously going to do that. That was something that was overlooked in the past, and we are going to ensure that this happens. The Prime Minister is on us to get this resorted. And we have collected similar legislation for about 6 or 7 other islands who would have made the adjustments to their laws, and we are going to follow suit. to ensure that we
Right. So the Fishers, they're working on this so that the ban will be lifted, right? And this is good. I love that. I love that. Our athletes.
Grenadian athlete Anderson Peters and his coach Paul Phillip were welcomed home to a special ceremony on Sunday at the Maurice Bishop International Airport. The occasion was in honor of their achievement of securing the silver medal in the men's javelin at the 2025 World Championship in Tokyo. Peters earned his second place with a throw of 87.38 meters. Honorable Delma Thomas, Minister for Youth and Sports, praised both men for their unwavering dedication and perseverance in the sport. She also congratulated all the athletes who competed at the World Championships, expressing her pride in how they represented the nation. Minister Thomas emphasized that success in sports isn't solely measured by medals, but also by the courage to show up and compete with dignity.
Today we stand with immense pride as we welcome home Anderson and Coach Paul Phillip, who brought glory to Grenada with the second place finish at the World Championship. Anderson and Coach Paul, you have once again proven that our small nation can compete with the very best in the world. And this is no easy feat. Your discipline, determination, and perseverance are an inspiration to every Grenadian, especially our young people, who now believe that greatness is within their reach. Even as we celebrate your podium finish, we also acknowledge the unwavering effort of Kirani James. We know he have brought home Grenada gold at the Olympics, silver, bronze, and we know the issues that he has to undergo on a daily basis. Lyndon Victor, we've heard of the injury he had, but they continue to make us proud. Though they did not medal this time, their dedication, consistency, and spirit continue to make us proud. The journey reminds us that success is not only measured in medals, but in the courage to keep showing up and representing our nation with dignity.
First, the Vice President of the Grenada Athletic Association, John L. Mitchell, highlighted the organization's commitment to investing in track and field and fostering long-term development on the international stage.
As associations, we need to have real conversations. We really need to go back to the drawing board and have some serious conversations as to where we really want to go with track and field in Grenada. We sit and we see the exploits, we see the great achievements, and we're happy. Of course we are. But getting that overview as to what it takes to make a world-class athlete, that means there's a lot we have to do. Yes, we've been producing a number of athletes over the years at the junior level, but to take them to that next level, where do we go from here? And I know that as an association, we've heard you. We are listening. And these two gentlemen here are true ambassadors of the sports. And we cannot slide these things. We cannot take it for granted. And so as an association, it is our aim to continue to invest in the whole aspect of track and field and ensure that track and field continues to grow and give Grenada the kind of prominence that it is getting and continues to get on the world stage.
Bernard Wilson also extended congratulations on behalf of the Grenada Olympic Committee and commended Peters and Coach Paul for their hard work and exceptional commitment to the sport.
I just want to say a sincere congratulations on behalf of the Grenada Olympic Committee. I pride myself in saying that we also spotted you from the very beginning and supported you from yay high. And although I wasn't there then, I'm there now. And it warms my heart to see what you have accomplished. You didn't get the gold, but you got the silver. And the silver is golden. Believe me. Believe me, you have made us extremely proud. Coach Paul, I know you work hard. Anderson, I know you work hard. I see you working hard. I know that there were times when your ankle would give trouble or your arm would give trouble and you just can't do it, but you're still on trying to do something to stay sharp. And you deserve every accolade, every bit of praise that is bestowed upon you. And I wish you extreme longevity.
Yes, and what I love is the fact that Minister Thomas recognized those who did not medal, because the mere fact that they represented Grenada, it says a lot about their commitment to country, the patriotism, the love for country. So again, kudos to all the athletes who participated, and big up yourself, Mr. Peters, on your silver medal. And look how this government is acknowledging their every success and celebrating it, having ceremonies for them. That didn't used to happen during the NNP time. No. The NNP never saw the athletes as important. They never did. So again, the government is on the right track, recognizing what they continue to do for Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique.
As we seek to build high-performing public entities, we must be guided by the principles of the oft-quoted good governance, transparency, and accountability. They are not optional. They are essential pillars of public trust and institutional effectiveness. As I said at the previous conference, our state-owned enterprises collectively are entrusted with billions of dollars worth of assets to manage on behalf of the public. So they must operate with clarity of purpose, with sound oversight, and a commitment to delivering value to the people of Grenada. Do our state-owned enterprises know what each individual entity's purpose is? Does the board of directors even ask that question? What is the purpose of the Airports Authority? What is the purpose of NOASA? What is the purpose of GAFIN? Collectively, do we know that purpose? And do we share that purpose with the rest of the team? This conference, while important, should not be a one-off event that after 4 p.m. we go and we forget. If we are serious about high performance and about transformation, we must build entities and mechanisms that are fit for purpose, responsive to times, and capable of delivering sustained value. So I urge all of us, as difficult as it is, as unstable and challenging as the time is, that when we lead with courage and integrity, because our characters also matter. And Grenada's future depends on the strength of its institutions, and the strength of our institutions depend on the quality of our leadership, and the quality of our leadership depends on the quality of our characters. So I wish you much success in today's deliberations. I conclude by thanking Mr. Duncan and his team, the Minister of Finance, the PSN Finance, and the Planning and Policy Unit, the sponsors, and everyone else who has worked to ensure that this event today will be a success. I look forward to hopefully one day being an accredited director and partaking in the conference beyond delivering a speech. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Right, so that's our beloved Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Deacon Mitchell. He's off to the United States, New York. He will be addressing the United Nations General Assembly on Saturday. Let me just verify that, because I saw the press release earlier today, because it's important that you know when. So he will be addressing the United Nations on Saturday, yes, Saturday, 27th September, at the UN headquarters under the theme Better Together, 80 Years and More for Peace, Development and Human Rights. Because, you know, the UN, they're celebrating 80 years this period. So you'll be addressing the United Nations on Saturday. I don't know what time as yet, but once that happens, it will be streaming live and you'll be able to hear it yourself. All right? Folks, I beg your indulgence to wrap up the program 15 minutes in. Boy, I tell you, I've been at it since 6 p.m. 6 p.m. We're 15 minutes onto the top of the hour. So I beg your indulgence to wrap up the program 15 minutes into the program. Well, 15 minutes onto the top of the hour, right? It's now 14 minutes before we wrap up the program. So that's 46 minutes we have been here so far deliberating, all right? So I want to wish you all the best. I will be back with you tomorrow morning, and you realize my voice that has improved. It's improved. So I'm sounding a little better because I took what I normally would, drink and that kind of thing, a little bushans on it worked, and a lot of citrus during the day that actually worked. Water and lemon, right? Lemon, water, and lime. You kind of mix it every now and then. That actually helped. And clove. I actually boiled clove during the day. So that helped in a big way. So again, I want to thank you for being a part of the program tonight. So we have 13 minutes left in the program. But I'm going to wrap it up at this point. All right? So tomorrow, God's willing, I'll be back again with you starting from